What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you week number 7. I believe this is week 7? I think this is week 7. I believe that I'm correct on that. It's either week 7 or week 8 of... No, this is week 8. This is week 8. So we are 5-2 this season, which is fantastic. I'm really proud of myself. Really proud of how things are going. It is week number 8, and we are taking on TRT and the Chennai Chandelures. I believe I said that correctly. I apologize if I did not. He's doing pretty well for himself. He's 3-3, so he was 3-3 as of week 6. I don't know what his week 7 result was. Obviously, that game has not been posted here yet, or at least it has not been updated fully yet. So maybe he's 4-3, maybe he's 3-4. Who knows? Regardless, he's 3-3 as of this recording. So we're just gonna go off of that. This team is really interesting. It's really scary. I'm scared of it personally. And it consists of the Mega Scizor, Tapu Fini, the Victini, Weavile, Gengar, Gliscor, Mienshao, Rotom Mow, Credilli, and Karkle. Now, one thing I noticed about his team is it is mad fast. Like, the majority of his Mons are, like, base, like, 85 and up. The slowest of his fast crew is 75. But, like, the majority of his Mons range between the 75 and the 125. So it's all pretty quick for the most part, which is definitely something to note. But yeah, it's a fast team. It's a very fast team. However, another important thing about it is it's also, aside from like Mega Scizor, which is got a lot of natural bulk, Tapu Fini, kind of Rotom, and Credilli, which is like not a Greymon, in my opinion. Credilli is a predictable Mon. And because I said that, I'm sure it's going to come and it's going to mess me up. So, haha, reverse psychology. I want Credilli to show up. Or do I? You'll never know. You'll literally never know. And that's the whole point. But, yeah, it's a faster team, but it's a fairly frail team. And it's got some big shared weaknesses without ways of dealing with them too easily. So, we're going to try to exploit this. And the one Mon that exploits this team the best, ladies and gentlemen, you know it. You see him on the screen. You don't see him on the screen yet. You'll see him on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing the Don himself, Aoshi the Mamoswine. Look at Mamoswine and look at his team. And you tell me who should be the one afraid. This man's has nothing that resists both of his stabs. So, Banded Mamoswine is the goal this week. And as long as I pick what move I click correctly, I can just win. Now, there's a couple things that I've thought in my head while prepping for this. One, I think based on my team, certain Mons struggle to come to this matchup. One of those is actually the Gliscor, because he's seen how good the Mamoswine's done for me throughout the course of the season. He's also seen how good the Suicune has done for me throughout this season. And just those two alone invalidate pretty much anything Gliscor wants to do very easily. I just don't know if Gliscor comes in this game. I don't know. I don't know if it does. It's a hard sell. It would be a hard sell for me. I don't know if I'd be able to bring Gliscor to this one. Personally. That's my thought process. Which, honestly, just makes it easier for me because it makes it easier for me to click Earthquake. I feel like the only thing that he's going to be bringing, in my personal opinion, that is going to be immune to the Earthquake is going to be the Rotom-Mow. Which is fine, because Rotom-Mow is a lot easier to deal with in the broad scheme of things than his Scorpion counterpart friend. So, fingers crossed. But, yeah, it makes it a little bit harder for the Gliscor to come. I can see the Credilli coming because it's just bulky. Carkle's not coming. It's not happening. It's just not. I don't know. A lot of his Mons could come, but I just don't feel like a lot of them have good enough matchups, in my opinion, to warrant it. That's just me, I guess. But Mamoswine, Choice Banded. Focus on that. Get back on topic. Thick Fat for the ability, so we can tank a hit if we need to. Banded Earthquake pretty much OHKOs the vast majority of his team, and 2 KOs Tapu Fini, because we're Adamant Banded, and 2 KOs Tapu Fini. 2 KOs Mega Scizor. Like, this set's gross. This set's gross. We have enough pace to outspeed. I believe that's max speed Mega Scizor? Max speed Adamant Mega Scizor. That's what it is. Max speed Adamant. That's what that is. I can't think of what else that would be. Excuse me. Did not sleep great last night. But, yeah, this thing just kind of nukes his team. Icicle Crash is here to allow us to nuke through the Rotom. And the Gliscor if necessary. Plus it hits a vast majority of his team still really hard. Like, he's got resists to it, but they don't appreciate it. And then we have knockoff, just the backup plan, just as a free click on something. And then Ice Shard. Ice Shard's like if Mamo gets a little low, we can save it and then try to bring it in later and kind of clean up with some Banded Ice Shards if things are pretty weak and down. So we'll see how that one pans out. I think that the Mamoswine is going to put in a lot of work here. It's all a matter of timing with Mamoswine, and I think I can make the timing happen for sure. Next up, we have Gine the Suicune with the Wakan Berry pressure ability. 252 HP, 172 defense, with Calm Nature, actually, and 84 into speed. The 84 into speed is to allow us to outpace a min-speed Gliscor. Not min speed. I always say min speed because I just take min speed as zero investment. But a lot of people can think minus speed nature. When I say min speed, I mean 0 EVs. If you just load up a blank Gliscor in the team builder, that's the speed that it sits at. This set with pressure just kind of sits in front of so many Pokemon on his team and just doesn't care. Especially with Protect. We're here to mess up his team. I almost feel bad doing this to people, but I don't at the same time. This thing deals with physical Victini. We chew V-Creates and stuff like that. This also allows us to chew... the Wakanda area also allows us to shoot Bolt Strikes. And weaken him with the Scalds. We can protect and waste turns on things like Misty Surge. Which is always important, because then if we can waste the turns on Misty Surge and get a Toxic on top of Finny, like, I'm pretty sure it's just game over at that point. We can outspeed the Gliscor and hit it with an Ice Beam, and then just kind of invalidate Gliscor's existence. Most of what they would bring to hit this thing super effectively is probably just electric coverage. Like, Gengar could bring Thunderbolt, Bolt Strike on Victini. Obviously, Rotom could either Leaf Storm or, like, Thunderbolt, but I feel like Leaf Storm would probably be his best bet, but I have ways of dealing with that. I'm not worried. Yeah, I feel like the majority of the things that would kind of deal with Suicune here don't appreciate... One, don't appreciate getting Toxic. Two, Scald or Ice Beam hit pretty hard. And then I can pressure stall a lot of moves, too, with Protect, which is going to be very important. Because especially with Victini, because a lot of Victini's moves only have 8 PP at max. So I only need to deal with 4 of them in order to justify it. Now, obviously, I don't have a way of getting my HP back, so I'm going to need something to do that for me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to bring a defensive Wish-Passing Salamence. Fully defensive Wish-Pass Salamence. We are 144 speed, Naive Nature, 112 defense, 252 HP. We went with the Naive Nature because this allows us to outpace a max speed Rotom. I wanted to outspeed Rotom because I felt like it's an offensive mon that I feel like I could outspeed, and I wanted to outspeed it. Because I can still hit it pretty hard with a nice Flamethrower. We have Wish, Flamethrower, Dual Wing Beat, and Roost. Roost obviously keeps healthy. Wish, because we can pass wishes to other members of the team, and I think that is going to be incredibly crucial in this game. Keep our boys healthy as possible. Flamethrower, just for coverage, hits the Rotom, specifically for the Mega Scizor. This thing's a good switch-in for that, especially with U-turns popping off potentially. Or if it tries to set up an SD, we can keep it weakened down and then Flamethrower it to keep it whittled. And then Dual Wing Beats just for stab, for things that want to try to switch into this. This also deals with Mienshao, which is nice. This is just fat. Obviously, we got to be careful because with the Naive Nature, like... Actually, I don't need Naive, do I? I'm going to go Jolly. Yeah, I can go Jolly, because realistically, the Flamethrower... Yeah, I'm going to go Jolly just so I have that little bit extra special bulk. Because Flamethrower is still, I believe... Oko's some spreads of Mega Scizor, but guaranteed 2 KOs most. And this thing being Intimidate and bulky just kind of comes in on it and doesn't worry. So I'm not super stressed about it. God, it's almost time for work. That's crazy. But, yeah, this thing is just here for Wish Passing and to just mess people up. That's pretty much the whole goal. Next up, we have Sonosuke, the Surfetched with the Life Orb Scrappy, and this thing is a monster for his team. We have enough speed to outpace a zero speed IV or EV type of Finny. No EVs on that Finny, all bulk, and we'd outspeed it. Max attack, Adamant Nature, 92 into HP. Close combat, Leaf Blade, knockoff, first impression. This thing just kills stuff. This thing just kills things. If I get in on something that I'm faster than, I just get a kill. I just get a kill. Close combat fucking rips his team apart. Gengar resists it. Doesn't care. Dies. Mega Scizor, 2-hit KO'd. Guaranteed. Tapu Fini, close combat into Leaf Blade. Because it's actually stronger than Poison Jab here. And he could also be Kevia Berry. Close combat into Leaf Blade has a really strong chance of KOing you. Knockoff, no one wants to switch in on a knockoff. Nobody wants to switch in from a knockoff from this thing at all. Now, let me also have the first impression as a just in case note button. Weavile's getting out of hand. First impression, note button, die. Mienshao is getting a little out of hand. We can still kill it with a first impression. Rotom is annoying us. We kill it with a first impression. This Mon is fire. This Mon is fire. I love it. I love this Pokemon so much. My God, it's so good. Such a good Mon. Excuse me. I'm just excited to use Surfetch to the fullest of its abilities, and I hope I can get a bunch of kills within this game. That's the goal here. Next up, we have Yahiko, the Zarude. Choice Scarf is Zarude. Darkest Lariat, Power Whip, Close Combat U-Turn, Max Speed, Max Attack, Jolly Nature. I need to go Max Speed because I will happily force that Speed tie with Mienshao if I have to. At the end of the day, Darkest Lariat hits his team pretty hard. Nothing really appreciates it. Even some of the resists are pretty frail, so they don't appreciate the Darkest Lariat. U-Turn's going to be my main click in this game, probably, because I can scout what his switch-ins to this thing are going to be, which most likely will be Mega Scizor. I feel is going to be his main switch into this. Possibly Gliscor, I could see as well being a switch into this thing. We have Power Whip because this allows us to just nuke through the Tapu Fini, which is important. We have Close Combat because it's Close Combat. Why would I not run Close Combat when there's a Carkol, there's a Credilli, there's a Weavile right there. I gotta have the Close Combat. And of course, you turn for momentum purposes. Last but not least, we have Hyotoko, the Skuntank, Black Sludge, Aftermath ability, Sub, Dark Pulse, Acid Spray, and Fire Blast. 252 HP, 164 special attack with a modest nature, and 92 in speed. 92 in speed allows us to outpace a min-speed Gliscor. This thing kind of does really well here. One, obviously, he's got defensive variants for Fini and Rotom. This thing can kind of scare them out and set up a sub. And if I scare them out and set up a sub, whatever comes in is not going to have a good time. Fire Blast Oko's the Scizor all the time, which is great. And if he's not offensive Scizor, we'll outspeed him, which is also great. Acid Spray puts immediate pressure on the Tapu Fini, and anything that I want, really. I can just fire off an Acid Spray for free against a lot of things if I outspeed it, and put them in a nasty position. And then Dark Pulse is just kind of free against a lot of mons. Dark Pulse will break through Victini, Dark Pulse will break through Gengar, Flinches could break through things like the Gliscor, especially if I get a -2 on that thing from an Acid Spray. This Skuntank actually can really mess his team up badly if I can get it going. So, fingers crossed I can get this Skuntank to work. I think it's a fun set. I just couldn't come up with anything else to bring. I didn't really feel like I needed any other tools for this matchup, personally. I felt like I had all the tools I needed. But this Skuntank definitely has potential to do incredibly well here. Plus, I can also bluff that it's physical and bluff Sucker Punches and stuff against things like Gengar, against things like the Victini and stuff like that, which is also a nice little tool I have for this matchup. But that's going to be it for the team builder. Let's go ahead and jump over to the battle. Alrighty, guys, we are here with our match against TRT and his Chennai Chandelures. You just saw the team builder, and we see that TRT brings the Rotomo, the Tapu Fini, the Scizor, Gliscor, Victini, and the Gengar here. So a lot of scary offensive threats, but we do have ways to potentially get around them. So let's go ahead and give it our best shot, and we'll see what happens. So we see the Gliscor lead here against the Sirfetch'd. I went straight for a knockoff, just hoping it didn't have like Protect or anything to get its Toxicor butt, but it does indeed. So he's going to go ahead and go for a U-turn here, as I'm just going to proceed to click and knockoff. I have no reason not to. And he does go into the Scizor here. Hindsight 2020, obviously, could have just gone for the close combat. Since obviously like the Scizor could have been coming in. If you see knockoff coming out, you're probably going to go into your Mega that can't be knocked off. He roosts here, and I kind of go for the close combat to kind of scout for damage. Looks like more just like a max HP kind of set, but nothing too crazy. I'm going to switch here, predicting like the Bullet Punch to come out, because if they're like offensive, if they're like an offensive set, Bullet Punch had a good chance to KO me. So that doesn't happen here. So we get in here, and I just go for the dual wing beat right away, predicting like the Fini to come in, get big damage off, and they go for a Moonblast, and it crits and OHKOs my Skuntank. This Fini is Choice Specs Tapu Fini, and I don't have my Steel type. Crap. I saw that, and I immediately was like, oh no. Because if this was like a normal defensive Tapu Fini, we tank that. We take under half from that Moonblast. But this thing is just fully offensive Choice Specs Fini. So I was like, oh, okay. So we're having a bad day. So I go into my Zarude, knowing that like it's a little bit more offensive. And I U-turn predicting the Gliscor. So now I have my Choice Banded Mamoswine in here. And just going to go for the Protect. And just he sees the Ice Go Crash. And just kind of stays in. I was actually kind of surprised that they stayed in here and just gave me their Gliscor, because like you have a... No, Scizor wouldn't have been able to tank that. Well, you have a Victini right there that probably could have taken that hit, and Tapu Fini might not have actually been able to take it since it's Specs. But he's going to go now into the Rotomo and go for a Nasty Plot. I just Darkest Lariat here as they just go for a Discharge. I was like, alright, that's fine. I can 1v1 this thing, so I'm just going to proceed to do that. Keeps discharging here, that's fine again. Then I actually catches me here. You got me good. You go into the Tapu Fini. Again, hindsight, probably should have just Darkest Lariat again there and got rid of my Zarude. Well, I kind of needed the Scarf Zarude, actually, just in case. That Moonblast does way too much to my Suicune here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scald this thing and just keep scalding this thing. I go for another Protect here to try to get rid of the terrain, which is fine, but then they're just able to kill me with a Moonblast. So I go into Salamanders here, and this play right here is the most crucial of the entire game. This play right here, what happens on this turn, is incredibly crucial to the outcome of this game. Okay, ready? So I'm going to click Dual Wing Beat. Dual Wing Beat guaranteed kills this thing from this range, right? Here we go. We're going to click it, right? Ready? See? We miss.
Who are you talking to?
Recording, honey.
Ah! Sorry.
That's okay. I love you.
I love you.
Fiance didn't know I was recording. It's fair. I didn't warn her. I apologize. Sorry I didn't warn you.
Huh?
Sorry I didn't warn you.
It's fine. I was just really confused because you sounded really loud. It sounded like you were in the bedroom, like talking to the cats or something. It was like a full conversation, so I was very confused.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries, you're good.
Why didn't you close the door or something?
I don't know, I didn't think to.
You could totally hear the shower.
Not really. Probably not.
Yes.
I'll play it back and see if it does. If I can't hear the shower, I'll redo it. But if I can't hear the shower, it's not a big deal. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
We'll get there when we get there.
Uh-huh.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I already took it out.
Okay.
Anyways, so we missed the dual wing beat, and that is huge. Because Salamence is incredibly crucial to how this team is meant to function. I have the wishes that I'm meant to be passing. I am bulky as hell, so I'm meant to be able to come in on Scizor all the time and be able to roost up a wish pass on the Scizor. I'm able to deal with a physical Victini incredibly well. This thing is crucial, and that 10% chance to miss the dual wing beat had to come out at that time. He was literally kept it in too. He even admits in the chat he was just trying to sack this thing off. So Salamence drops, and that is massive. So I'm able to take this thing out with a power up. I have to go for power up, and it allows the Victini to come in. And we see here this thing is a flame charge Victini, and well, that's bad for me. V-Create is actually able to take out my Mamoswine, even through the thick fat. It doesn't really matter. It's a V-Create from a Victini that's going to kill. So I get to go into my Zarude here and Darkest Lariat. These things down as hard as I can. I am Scarfed, so it goes for the Flame Charge, gets the +1 speed, doesn't really matter. I'm able to Darkest Lariat through that thing. But here comes the Scizor, and now I'm in the situation where it's like Bullet Punch just KOs everything. So I'm just kind of like, I was screwed. There was nothing I could do. Like, even if I had stayed in there, sacked Zarude, gone into Surf Edge afterwards, I click Close Combat, I'm able to take out the Scizor at least, but Gengar just KOs me right back, and there's nothing I can do. So it's like the crit or the miss on that dual wing beat completely turned the tide of the game. Because I lost my answer to these two Pokemon. And these two Pokemon just cleaned up the rest of my team. So, definitely, like, if that miss hadn't happened, it very well could have been an incredibly different game. And that's what frustrates me the most. Because I hate when I feel like I'm in a good spot. I feel like I'm in the driver's seat. And I lose due to something that completely is out of my hands. It is what it is. So we'll just try to bounce back. Next week we take on the San Jose Sharpedos, coached by I'm not sure who, off the top of my head. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Until next week, guys, thank you for watching. I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace.